The Brunswick Infinity Quest is releasing in a couple of weeks, and we are actually able to film Don throwing his new Infinity Quest early. Huge shout out to Don, who's showing up in the videos. Being able to watch him throw this Infinity Quest was fantastic. Unfortunately, Brunswick doesn't like me showcasing their bowling balls in a lot of videos, so this is going to be the only review of the 6 new balls that we are able to showcase, unless anyone has any other ways to do it. But let's talk about the new Brunswick Infinity Quest. This ball is really interesting because it is a shiny, solid bowling ball with the same cover stock as the Brunswick Mesmerize. However, it has that infinity core that's been on the Infinity and the Beyond Infinity, which is a slightly weaker asymmetrical core at the end of the day. It has a higher RG in 2.52, it has a 0.051 differential, but then a really, really low 0.10 in the intermediate differential category. So this ball really wants to be a step down from the Mesmerize, is what it is. It is a shiny Mesmerize with a weaker core. Very, very basic on exactly where you expect it to fit. It really fits in that special effect category, where it isn't that big, strong, solid, slow asim, but it's not that really quick asymmetrical pearl ball that you'd expect from like the Mania or the Vaporize or even a Theorem, which is a hybrid. This one is that good in-between fit. Now, you're going to notice in the video, this ball seems like it's rolling really forward when it hits friction. That's because it seems like it is. The colors, the Ion Max Light colors, make it look a little bit wonky, make it look like that the ball's not going to go through the pins well, but then it does. And that's probably because it does have that shiny, solid cover stock. That Mesmerize HK22C cover stock is pretty angular for being a big, strong, slow cover. It's quicker than a lot of the other ones on the market, so that's why you're seeing this one kind of have a weird effect on your eyes. You're going to see as Don goes left, it does tend to look better and better. This thing does need a puddle on the lane. It needs a lot of oil, and it doesn't like playing straight very much. It really is not a ball that you can play up the boards with. You do need to put a little bit of angle on it. Now, we are bowling on a house shot in my local center, which is a lot of friction on the lanes. There is a ton of friction on the lanes. So this is more hook than you're going to see out of this, probably at your local center. But it still does want to play some angle because it is fairly directional. It's secretly very directional when it sees friction. It doesn't look like it is, but every time that Don misses a little bit in or gets a little bit around it, he leaves a big 4 type split every single time. He left a lot of big 4s in this video, and that's any little miss, or even if he was just too far right on the lane, it immediately would want to go through the face. It didn't want to hit light very often. Like I said, this ball fits between your big, strong, solid ASIMs and your ASIM pearls. It's a good gap filler. If you like asymmetrical bowling balls, this can be a great option for you because sometimes a lot of those big, strong solids are just too slow and don't want to play much angle. That's usually what those big asymmetrical balls do. And then sometimes those asymmetrical pearls are just way too quick. They have way too clean of a cover stock on them. This is the perfect in-between for you. Now, I personally would recommend keeping the polish on. I think if you take the polish off, this thing's going to be a little too close to the Mesmerize. But if you want a Mesmerize for cheap, this could be a decent option for you, but you have to keep the surface low on it. It's going to be weaker no matter what because of the weaker core. But then if you keep the surface low to around 1,000 or 2,000 grit, it pretty much will be a baby Mesmerize. But right now it kind of fits as that step below it / step and a half below it, being a bridge between your solids and your pearls. In the video, Don compares it to the RST Hyperdrive, and the Hyperdrive, as expected, is going to be slower down lane. It doesn't want to play as much angle. It's a lot rounder. You can watch a more of a banana shape with its hook compared to that more directional reaction that the Infinity Quest has. So 2 different types of asymmetrical ball reaction. However, you're going to see that they're a little closer in terms of where they hook than you would expect because the Hyperdrive is one of those strong, solid ASIMs, dull ASIMs. However, the Hyperdrive does have that higher RG, which doesn't help, but also the Hyperdrive has a lot more games on it, so it's absorbed a lot more oil than that brand new Infinity Quest. This is literally the first few games after we drilled the Infinity Quest, whereas the Hyperdrive has probably at least 20 games on it at this point, so the reaction has become a little bit later down lane compared to what was right out of box. So there is going to be a big enough gap between the Infinity Quest and the Hyperdrive. Talking to Don, we kind of discussed that it could really go hyperdrive right into an Infinity Quest from about the same part of the lane, maybe a little bit further left with that Infinity, just because it wants to be more directional when it sees friction, whereas the hyperdrive wants to be a lot smoother when it sees friction. One of the best parts about this ball is actually the price. This thing is retailing at $170, so about $20 cheaper than a lot of Brunswick's other big asymmetrical solid bowling balls. So if you want an asim for a little bit of a cheaper price, this could be a really good option for you. Or if you want to trick people into thinking you're throwing an Ion Max, but you're really not, that could be another great option for you. Overall, this ball looks pretty decent for if you're using it in the right situations. I'll never say a ball is really good or really bad, especially before it releases, because none of us know. If you have YouTubers who are saying that, they have no idea if this ball is great or not. They've thrown it on one condition, just like us. We've thrown it on one singular condition. But I'm really hoping this ball could be good on longer patterns, maybe some heavier patterns for transition. I don't know about a house shot. I think it could be a good house shot if you're someone who's a little more speed dominant or your house puts out a lot of oil. That's where this ball could really shine, but you're going to have to play some angle with it, so be ready for that. Otherwise, the Infinity Quest releases on August 14th alongside 5 other Brunswick bowling balls. This is probably going to be one of the cooler ones out of those 6. Unfortunately, we will not have reviews for those other bowling balls. We will have short form videos coming, but no long form ones like this, unfortunately. We do not have any way of getting the bowling balls early, especially from Brunswick. That probably will never happen due to recent events. But I do want to thank you guys all for watching these videos. I hope you guys enjoy our ball reviews. Otherwise, next time we're able to snag a new ball, we'll have a review for it, and I will see you on the next one then.